Welcome to week 11, the female mind of attraction and knowing your ideal woman, called the female algorithm. I am so excited for this week. I typically say these are my favorite weeks, but this one has a special meaning to it for me because you're really going to know and really understand the female mind of attraction and knowing your ideal woman, which is super important to your dating process as well. But I also have a little confession for you. Even though I say this is my favorite week because this is where I can really get into what attracts and hooks a woman and how you can create that sustainable attraction, this is a week that you will use for the rest of your life. I'm sure like every week you will, but this is going to be more in the forefront when you're dating women. I'm sure you've seen plenty of quick fixes or band-aid solutions out there when it comes to dating and attracting women, but I want to get into how to keep the attraction alive past the initial stages of your relationship. So you're probably always been told that there is a honeymoon stage and that it's totally normal for things to become kind of monotonous, predictable, or even stagnant once you've been together for a while. But here's the thing, guys. The happiest relationships are those that maintain a sense of attraction and fun. And this week, we're going to look exactly at how you can do that. And also, too, we're going to look at the first steps of attraction for women. And it's pretty good news, right? So we're also going to be talking about how to identify a true high-quality woman and how to make sure you aren't confusing emotionally unavailable women with high-quality women. Trust me, I see this happening all the time, and it drives me nuts. So many great guys wind up in these types of situations, so I need to include a section on particularly this. I also want to talk about how to connect with these high-quality women because sometimes I see men becoming a little bit intimidated when they encounter one, whether it's because the woman has a certain confidence, air to her, or because the guy gets too much in his head about how to impress her. I often see this happening. So I will give you some concrete tools for this type of situations. We're also going to be exploring the 4 different types of women and what attraction really means to a woman. Then we're going to be diving into how to create that emotional high for a woman so that she's associating you with long-term fun, excitement, and happiness. And last but not least, we will be talking about how to identify red flags from a mile away. So if you're ready to get started, grab a pen and a piece of paper to take notes because we've got a lot to get through. All right, let's kick things off by delving into the concept of a high-value woman. A high-value woman is someone who possesses a profound sense of self-worth, clarity, and has a deep understanding of her own personal healing and her healing journey. It's important to note that being a high-value woman doesn't imply perfectionism or the absence of any healing work left to do. Rather, it means that she has developed a healthy and positive relationship with herself and developed that into what she wants in a man, allowing her to step into a partnership with someone who is structured and confident. In this nurturing environment, she can continue to heal, grow, foster a faster healing process as well. Now, what I want to stay clear about is I want to be really honest with you. It's not about a woman not being healed at all and just knowing that she has things to work through. She's actively working through it and you're seeing results, and she's not being in a relationship coming from her trauma or dating you from trauma. One of the remarkable qualities of a high-value woman is her genuine expression of her femininity. She embraces her femininity wholeheartedly and is open, playful, and nurturing. Additionally, she feels comfortable in her own feminine role, which enables the relationship to maintain a healthy polarity. But she has to be able to strike this with a balance of a healthy masculine man. It's essential to strike a balance too, as in today's world, women are increasingly taking on more masculine roles, if we haven't noticed, right? A high-value woman can navigate both her feminine and masculine sides, but she does so without adopting the "I don't need a man" mentality, which disregards the value of partnership and connection. When it comes to emotional openness, a high-value woman demonstrates consciousness and awareness of her partner. She values effective communication, recognizing the importance of expressing her thoughts and feelings honestly and authentically. Taking responsibility for her actions is another trait she embodies, understanding that her choices and behaviors impact the relationship. Moreover, she possesses the ability to regulate her emotions and remain self-aware, ensuring that her emotional state does not dictate the dynamics of the relationship. Consistency is a fundamental aspect of being a high-value woman. She avoids exhibiting hot and cold behaviors, as well as saying one thing and doing another. She holds herself to a standard of consistency and expects the same from her partner. Pacing is significant to her, and she appreciates the value of taking things at a reasonable and balanced speed. Rushing mindlessly mindlessly into a relationship or over pursuing it, not her style. Instead, she allows the connection to unfold organically, fostering a deep and more genuine bond. Understanding the importance of pacing, and she recognized that it's the root of attraction. And by pacing the relationship appropriately, she ensures that attractions between her and her partner continues to flourish. This may occasionally clash with her partner, a more logical approach, as he may prefer to think things through before making significant decisions. However, over time, she learns to trust that her partner will assertively make decisions from his masculine energy because she builds trust for him, compelling her feminine energy in a harmonious manner. See what I mean? You're probably like, where are these women, Apollonia? This is crazy, right? So trust me, they are out there, guys. A lot of times we only focus on what we see, and those are our bad experiences, okay? I know they're out there. I'm one. I have friends that are. I talk to women every day in our AOA coaching program. Guys, they're out there, okay? So that's a limiting belief. Let's get away from that. What we think we will always attract. Remember this. Okay, let's go on. The more a high value woman observes that you can make decisive and clear decisions that prioritize your well-being and hers and the relationship and eventually the family, the safer she will feel with you and the less she will be in her masculine, more in her submissive role as her true feminine. So just demonstrating your ability to make choices that benefit both of you, establish a foundation of trust and security. Remember, pacing remains a crucial factor throughout the relationship. And then there's the topic of pacing itself. And this is a game changer, my friend. Here's the deal. When you're dating a high value woman, pacing is like the secret ingredient to keeping things on the right track and building a strong connection with her basically over time. And at the beginning of the relationship, you want to take it slow and steady. You don't want to rush into things or spend every waking moment together. And this is something that a high value woman appreciates and also strives for. She's not going to want to go all in at full speed all the time. It's all about finding that balance. So seeing each other maybe once, twice a week is a good starting point. This way you both have enough space to maintain your interdependence and independence, pursuing your individual interests and letting the relationship naturally unfold, and you can see that with one another. As time goes on, you start to develop the yearning of missing each other, and this is what builds attraction as well. And as time goes on, you both feel comfortable and things are going well. You gradually increase the frequency of your meetups and dating as well. After about a month or so of getting to really know each other, you can aim for about 3 to 5 times a week if you'd like. It's like adding a little more spice to the recipe. Keep things interesting without overwhelming the flavors. Once you reach the 2-month mark, you'll probably find yourself hanging out probably 3, 4, 5 times a week. By this point, you're starting to build a deeper connection and getting to know each other on a more intimate level. However, here's a pro tip. Make sure you don't lose sight of the other aspects of your life. You see, being a high value man means having your own life outside of the relationship. Everybody's time zone of how many times you can see each other a week is going to look different, guys. It's essential basically to have your own passions, hobbies, and responsibilities. This not only keeps you fulfilled, but also adds value to the relationship. You want to show your high value woman that you have a solid foundation and a life that you're passionate about. If you're someone who gets easily swept away by the excitement of a new relationship, pacing becomes even more important for you. I get that it is tempting to want to spend every moment with her, but trust me, maintaining a sense of balance is key. Remember to keep doing the things that make you happy and fulfilled as a single man. Keep up with your hobbies, hang out with your friends, and focus on your personal growth. This way, you'll continue to be an attractive and well-rounded partner. I want you to remember that pacing never dies. It remains a vital ingredient throughout the relationship. By gradually increasing the time spent together while maintaining your own life and passions, you're setting the stage for a healthy and fulfilling partnership. It also helps you build a solid foundation where the woman understands that she can feel safe with you. And a high value woman is pretty much only going to open up to you when she feels safe with you. Now, I'm not just talking about physical safety here. It goes beyond that. It's about creating an environment where she can truly be herself and embrace her feminine energy. Women may not always express it explicitly, but trust me, they want to feel comfortable enough to be in their feminine around you, even if they tend to lean more towards their masculine side. Compared to other women you've met, okay? Let me share this great story with that Coach Cynthia once told me. She went on a date with a guy and something accidentally fell off the table. As she bent down to pick it up, without a second thought, this guy placed his hand over the edge of the table that was close to her head, making sure she wouldn't get hurt when she sat back up and hit her head on that corner. It may seem like a small, insignificant gesture, but it spoke volumes about a guy's special awareness and thoughtfulness to her. And guess what? It immediately increased Cynthia's attraction towards him. So you see, it's this little acts of consideration that add up over time and shape how a woman feels about you. That's protection, okay? Feeling safe around you is all about these small moments of care and thoughtfulness. It's all about showing her that you're attentive to her needs, her surroundings, and thinking twice as well. Let's say you're out playing mini golf together and her purse keeps swinging in front of her, interfering with her shot. You can simply say, hey, let me take that for you, with a playful tone, and swing it over your shoulder and make a lighthearted comment like, looks good, huh? Then allow her to take her swing before returning her purse. In this simple act, you're not only showing confidence and comfort in your own skin, but you're also creating a space where she can rely on you without hesitation. By extending a helping hand, you'll allow her to embrace her feminine side while demonstrating her ability to take charge of situations. And hey, doing it with a touch of humor adds an extra spark to attraction, of course, which is actually one of the keys to securing long-term attraction with a woman. It all boils down to establishing strong connection on multiple levels. First and foremost, there's this emotional connection. You want to be able to understand and connect with her on an emotional level, showing genuine care and empathy. Then comes the physical connection when it involves affection, intimacy, and deepening on a physical bond between you in the seduction place, okay? Next up is the intimacy connection, which goes beyond the physical and it encompasses trust, vulnerability, and shared experiences that deepen your emotional and physical connection. And last but not least, we have communication connection, which is all about effective and open communication, being able to listen to her, understand her needs, and she does it vice versa for you, and expressing your own thoughts and feelings honestly. Now, another trait of a high quality woman is direction, guys. It means she has goals and goals that she is actively pursuing in her life. She is passionate about something or multiple things that bring her fulfillment and purpose. It could be family, it could be wanting to start a family, it could be her career, her job, her hobbies. When a woman has direction, it's a clear sign that she has a sense of identity and knows what she wants. On the flip side, when you choose a woman who lacks direction, it can lead to mixed signals and confusion. Without a clear sense of who she is and what she wants, she may be all over the place in the terms of her thoughts, actions, and goals, even with you. So it can be really challenging to build a stable and fulfilling relationship with someone who lacks direction. I'm not saying that you can't date a woman that doesn't have direction, but she has to see some type of direction in her life and encourage it, want it, okay? Having direction is important because it shows that she can provide structure in her own life. It demonstrates that she has a sense of purpose and the motivation to work towards her goals. This can be incredibly attractive and beneficial for both individuals in the relationship. This is why I always talk about how important it is to have goals and to work towards them. Now, here's an important point to consider. If you're someone who tends to be a giver, it's crucial to be aware of how you may unintentionally fuel the lack of direction in a woman if she lacks direction, which we call the hero complex, right? By constantly accommodating her behavior and not addressing the need for structure and direction, you're essentially enabling and confusing the lack of focus. Okay, so it's super important to find a balance where you support and encourage her growth and goals, but also express the importance of having a clear direction in life. Marriages and relationships often face challenges and even failures when there is a lack of structure and direction. I say this all the time in my coaching sessions. This is a common issue perpetuated by the belief that the man's role is solely to give and provide, while neglecting the importance of setting clear expectations, goals, and boundaries. Both partners should actively contribute to establishing a structured and fulfilling partnership, and this is easy with a high-value woman. She yearns for this. She wants this. Another quality that you can find in a high-value woman is respect. I'm talking about how she treats others, no matter who they are, whether it's the waiter at a restaurant, a coworker, or even strangers she bumps into. She knows how to show kindness, empathy, and courtesy. It's a reflection of her character and integrity, and it's something that sets her basically apart. When it comes to your time, she's got it figured out too. She respects your schedule and commitments. You won't find her keeping you waiting or continuing to be flanking. Nope, she understands the value of clear communication when it comes to dating. If she's interested in going out with you, she'll take the initiative and let you know as well from time to time. No mind games, no playing hard to get, just open and honest communication makes it easier for the both of you to navigate through this dating spectrum or relationship. Honesty is another important aspect of a high value woman too. She doesn't play the games or keep you guessing about her intentions. She's upfront and transparent about what she wants and how she feels in the moment. If she likes you or sees potential, she won't hesitate to tell you. You can count on her to provide that structure and clarity, which is a breath of fresh air in the dating world. Also, I think a high value woman isn't shy about expressing her admiration and appreciation for you. She'll let you know what she likes and admires about you, highlighting your strengths and qualities. And this is genuine admiration, not only boosting your self-confidence, but it's also strengthening the bond between you. It feels good to be recognized and valued, doesn't it? And here's the kicker. She's not just a yes woman. She's challenging you in a positive and productive way. It's not about putting you down or starting arguments for no reason. No. She's all about holding you accountable and encouraging your growth, okay? She sees your potential and wants to see you thrive. Her challenges will inspire you to push your boundaries, become a better version of yourself, and reach new heights. And she'll do this with a guy that does this for her. I'm not saying that she just does this openly and freely just because she's a high value woman. She does it because she has a man in her masculine and a safe masculine. She feels safe that complements her for her to show up in this way. Okay. All right. So now that we've started to paint a picture of what a high value woman looks like and what she will want from you, we need to brush up on the concept of emotional attraction versus rational attraction that we talked about in week 5. Okay. Remember that we talked about how women fall for you based on how you make them feel, not just because you seem like a good choice on paper, okay? Attraction for women is all about emotions, not rational factors. It's about making her feel something powerful, and I like to call it the magic carpet ride effect. Picture yourself as Aladdin, flying on a magic carpet ride with Jasmine, taking her on an adventure filled with amazing experiences. In this scenario, you're fully embracing your masculine energy, taking the lead and creating experiences because there's no flat line in a magic carpet ride. It's all over the place, right? Remember, there's no attraction without emotions. So if you can't elicit positive emotions from her through vulnerability, banter, humor, fun, memorable experience, emotional connection, bond to be deeper, feelings for you, right? You're doing all of these different things, you create an experience. Get me? And here's the interesting part. This is why you sometimes see couples where the woman is drop dead gorgeous and the man might not fit the conventional beauty standards. And it leaves you scratching your head wondering what she sees in him, right? Maybe he's successful, great, but what makes her stay? Well, unless it's a superficial relationship based on material possessions, it's usually because he makes her feel absolutely amazing. It's because they have an incredible time together and share a deep mental and emotional connection. Looks become irrelevant because what truly matters is how they make each other feel. And let me tell you, looks fade over time. You could be the most handsome person on the planet, but your physical appearance will inevitably change as you age. What remains constant is the mental and emotional connection you share with someone. So the goal here, guys, is to create that emotional high by fostering experiences, vulnerability, humor, honesty, and genuine connections. These are the elements that will make her associate you with positive feelings and build a strong foundation for a lasting and meaningful relationship. Looks may catch her attention initially, but it's the emotional connection that will truly capture her heart. Now, when we talk about being on an emotional high with a woman, it means you're letting your guard down and being open about what you like and what you don't like. You're not constantly trying to stay neutral or play it safe. It's about sharing things about yourself in an empathetic way that she can't find anywhere else, basically. I'm talking about those personal aspects of your life that we shared about last week, and experiences that she won't discover just by scrolling through your Instagram or having casual conversations with your friends. When you open up and reveal these unique parts of yourself, you're creating an opportunity to nurture a deeper connection. You see, the emotional high is all about creating a sense of exclusivity and intimacy. By sharing those special aspects of yourself, you're allowing her to see a side of you that is authentic and genuine. It's those conversations and moments where you let her in on your passions, dreams, fears, and even vulnerabilities that lay the foundation for a more profound connection. When you're willing to be open and vulnerable in this way, it builds trust and creates a space for her to do the same. It's a give and take, my friend, where you both share and reveal parts of yourself that are unique and meaningful. And this is where the magic happens and the emotional high is reached. So remember, don't be afraid to let her in on those things that make you who you are. Share your stories, your interests, your thoughts. It's through those moments of authenticity and exclusivity that you nurture a deeper connection and create that emotional high that takes your relationship to a whole new level. And this is where emotional regulation also comes into play. Okay. So when we talk about emotional attraction versus rational attraction, emotional high, emotional regulation is key when it comes to impressing a woman. She wants to see that you can remain calm, collective, and level-headed, especially in challenging situations. And trust me, there might be instances where this quality can truly shine. Picture this. You're at a bar with a woman you're interested in, and suddenly a drunk guy starts pursuing her, and despite her clear indications that she's with you. It's a situation where your emotionally regulation can come into play. Once it's established that this guy is crossing the line, you can step in and calmly address the situation. You might say something like, hey buddy, she's here with me and we're just trying to have a nice time. Let's just let it go. Right? Now, here's the important part. Even if the guy continues to insist or tries to escalate the situation with you, it's crucial that you maintain your composure. Keep your cool and confidently respond, it's all good. Let's just have a good night. See you later, man. See you later. But let's say the guy still doesn't back down. And at this point, you can emphasize the importance of respect by saying, hey, man, out of respect for the lady, let's let it go. I don't want to have to call anyone to come and give you a ride home or escalate this any further. It's just not worth it to the both of us. And if it doesn't work, you and the woman can choose to leave the venue and go somewhere else for a more enjoyable time. The key here is that she sees your ability to remain calm and collective, even in potential of confrontational situations, but you're still speaking up. Because let's be honest, guys, you're not living in a movie, okay? No woman actually wants to see you get in a physical fight with some random guy at a bar over her. Well, at least no high value woman does. What she truly wants is your capacity to handle situations with maturity, confidence, and respect. So by demonstrating emotional regulation, you show her that you're capable of handling conflicts in a composed manner. It reflects your ability to prioritize her safety and well-being while maintaining your own sense of control and safety. And that, my friend, is truly impressive to a high-value woman. Or maybe you're in a stressful situation with her, like you are at the stage in the dating process where you have a romantic getaway plan with her for about a weekend, right? You booked a romantic suite at this super remote hotel on a little island in Mexico. And once you take the ferry all the way out there and arrive, it turns out that they don't have your booking on file. Ooh, sucks, right? Somewhere along the way, someone made a mistake and you have no room booked in the system. Well, you have two options here. You can totally lose it and start making a scene, yelling at the person behind the desk, acting like this belligerent tourist, right? Or you can calmly pull up your confirmation email on your phone and explain that there has clearly been a mistake, but you're interested in what else they have available and how this can be resolved. There's no need for making a scene and looking like a big bully in front of her. Instead, let her see that you can take the reins and handle the situation so that you can get your mini vacation started. Of course, there'll be times where you need to be more assertive and aggressive if they're not complimenting you and if they're definitely not working with you, right? And talking to the manager, this is what happened, but it doesn't have to be overconsumed with emotions arising, okay? So this is where internal and external boundaries come into play. Now, boundaries aren't really something that we speak about, right? It's just something we act on. They're established through actions and experiences we have together because you usually don't know until it happens, right? So external boundaries basically serve as a protection from insults, injuries, and things that are coming in from the outside, like the drunk guy at the bar, for example. External boundaries help you to sort out what you need to take seriously in terms of what's going on around you and what you shouldn't, right? When you have this clarity, you can handle situations with much more grace and trust me when I tell you. Women notice this. Don't ever think that they aren't going to think you're manly if you handle a situation with calmness instead of your fist. Seriously. External boundaries also help you to identify if maybe you are being rightful criticized in a situation. For example, let's say your boss or your colleague tells you that you're dropping the ball on your current project and it's making the client become annoyed. If you have external boundaries in place, then instead of being reactionary and immediately becoming defensive, you're able to take a step back with emotional regulation and think about it. Am I actually becoming lazy with this project? Yeah, actually doesn't excite me. And you might find that you are. So all you have to do is say, hey, you're right. I got distracted with some things that's been going on in my personal life, but I'm back to pick up the slack. I won't let you down. This is where masculine power can show up in his vulnerability and claim it, right? And be composed in it. When you're wrong and can admit you're wrong, you can immediately see the power and the positive side of it that will help better your relationship. It gives you an opportunity for positive change because now you're aware of it. And also shows the other person cares enough to share their criticism with you instead of just cutting you off or firing you in the work example. It actually probably makes you a better employee. On the other hand, when there is no communication about conflict and they're just ignoring it, it's just going to lead to problems. Your internal boundaries protects you from others, from yourself. Okay. It basically is a buffer between your feelings and how you deal with them. Okay. It helps you with anger, hurt, resentment, pain, and it makes you decide how you need to express it. So if you're someone who crosses a line with you, or if there's someone that crosses a line with you and speaks to you disrespectfully, for example, that's going against one of your values and you need to put a boundary down, right? If you just say this is a boundary, you can't do that. It doesn't do enough. Instead, you need to sort through the emotions that this conjures up for you, like anger or pain. And then you have to learn how to express the reason behind why you're putting this boundary in place. For example, you can say, hey, when you did that, I felt disrespected. And it's very important for me to have respect in a relationship because I saw the opposite of it in my parents' relationship. And that's not something I want to bring into my new relationships when I'm adult now. This demonstrates self-awareness, vulnerability, and a productive way of paving the foundation for a relationship, giving that other person an option to choose instead of telling them what to do. By the way, your boundaries will never be respected if you do not adhere to them too, guys, okay? So if you tell your girl that you will not tolerate her yelling at you, because you find it disrespectful, she's not going to take this seriously if you turn around and yell at her about something. Lead by example, guys. Okay, now let's get into the juicy stuff. The 4 different types or stages of a woman and the red flags to keep an eye out for. All right. So women will generally go through 4 different stages depending on where they are in their lives. But there are some women that stay rooted in one of the stages because it's where they feel that it's their comfort zone. Keep in mind there's no specific age range that these stages are connected to. It's more about a woman's experiences, her environment, her personality, her past, and so on and so forth. And lucky for you, I've been all 4 of these women. So I want to help you to identify the situations you come across, but I also want to offer this as a tool to help you understand your potential partner. I want to help you to understand where this woman is in her life and the particular moment, and also when you're dating, if it's the right fit for you. By doing so, I want you to avoid falling into the trap of idolizing her or becoming obsessed with her or what she could be. As with all these things related to awareness, you have to be aware of who she really is, right? And how you are going to show up for each other in the present moment. Without this, you can't really lay out a solid foundation for the future, right? Okay, so let's get into it. The first type of woman I like to call the fun girl or the inexperienced girl, okay? Again, this type of woman has nothing to do with age, but often times this type of girl is young too, right? So she also often is someone that is coming out of possibly a relationship that began when she was very young, and now she doesn't have much experience outside of the relationship. So at this type of woman, she's more interested in just going out with the flow and having fun. And she might get spooked if she feels that things are getting too serious, right? She kind of has like that avoidant style. She craves excitement and is often the one who likes to set the pace, right? At this point, she wants to gather more experiences, whether it's a conscious decision or not. This isn't necessarily a red flag, as her feelings and attachment to you can develop if you approach a situation the right way. But at this moment, her priority is not stepping into a serious, committed relationship. Instead, it's about exploring what's out there and enjoying the dating process. Interesting enough, the kind of guy that usually hooks her attention is the one that is very casual about dating process and is also just having fun and then organically falling into something if it happens. Basically, she will eventually fall for someone who is pretty much mirroring her own approach and her own behavior. The moment a guy becomes too invested or pursuing her too much, she'll pull away because it's getting too intense for her. However, if the guy can show her that he has other stuff going on in his life, that he is putting other stuff before her, and that his his focus does not revolve around her, she's going to feel less pressured. And so her interest and investment in him can grow organically. Now, I want you to note that she may still be affectionate at times. This is a total normal part of the dating process, attraction and seduction. But you need to keep an eye on how she shows up for you and how she's living her life. Is she making you a better person? Typically, when men get into relationships with women like this, they find themselves at a halt after a couple of months. As they find themselves being bored. She feels bored because they really, truly didn't want that relationship. They were just having fun, but they fell naturally into a relationship because they were both avoidant. Now, the next type of woman is called the wounded woman. And you might notice that she has trouble seeing her own potential in a new relationship. She typically has some baggage from a past relationship or some other type of personal pain that hasn't been healed from yet. We all have baggage, but this one hasn't been healed yet. And you as a man wind up being the one that creates a safe place for her, or she goes to, because you're the good one. You're the good guy. They're the guy that she should be dating, right? But she acts from her traumas and she excuses her way of showing up in the relationship or dating you because of her pain, right? I just don't trust men because my last boyfriend cheated on me and that's why I'm calling you all the time. Or I don't know, I really know I should be with you, but I also been in so many long relationships. And when she goes out with you, she's paying attention to other guys and it's just so much disrespect. I can go on. With a wounded woman, things can become very confusing for the man because she will seek love and affection, but she will also pull away and hide within herself. It's a lot of hot and cold behaviors that leaves you feeling frustrated and confused. Of course, she's not doing it on purpose sometimes, but it doesn't make it any easier on you. One thing that helps this situation is trying to understand where exactly her pain is coming from. She will essentially thrive off of validation from men, but then she will also push men away. Sometimes she'll be doing self-destructive things like drugs and alcohol, but generally she'll just get close to you and then tell you that she's not ready, pull away and become cold, and then back to you again later on. This behavior is a red flag. If she isn't doing anything to work through her pain, because once she works through her baggage and heals from the pain she's experienced, then she will be able to show up as a better partner to you. It's going to take time, but it's a pretty common thing. Then the next type of woman is the self-perceived 10. So in this one, there are two possibilities. First is that she perceives herself as a 10, and the second is you perceive her as a 10. So if she's the one perceiving herself as a 10, it means that she's placing herself on a pedestal, which is good, but the problem is that she's doing it excessively. You have a lot of gold digger types in this category where she will use her looks for a monetary value. My beauty is a value to you, so you need to give me whatever I want type of mentality. She approaches you with a sense of entitlement. In other words, she's adopting this princess mentality where she just wants you to dote on her and do everything for her. She feels that she's the best thing that's ever walked into your life. She uses that to expect things from you, and you use her beauty to feel better about yourself. And what this means is that her investment in you and this relationship happens only if she gets what she wants out of you. So yes, this is a red flag. If she is selfish and you wind up always being the one chasing while not getting much in return, then you're getting that short end of the stick, my friend. Women like this tend to be extremely demanding and then will emotionally punish you if you don't give them what they want. Maybe it's through endless pouting, withholding sex, ignoring you, or even becoming hostile. But she uses this to maintain control over you. And she keeps you hooked because when you're together and she gets what she wants, she gives you the attention you crave. But it's always temporarily. Now, if you're the one that perceives her as a 10, and I mean when you are just getting to know her, not when you're in a committed relationship, if you're the one that treats her as a 10, then you will be thrilled about how attracted you are to her. You'll be idolizing her and fantasizing about her, and you might even be ecstatic about how good it feels to have her by your side in public. And this can go hand in hand. She can be perceived as a 10 and you can perceive her as a 10 too. You might even be telling your friends that she's literally the hottest woman you've ever dated, but you're getting caught up in the physical element here and you're neglecting how she makes you feel emotionally speaking. She's pretty much in this for her and you wind up getting used. Now, if you aren't looking for anything that goes deeper than this, then sure, go for it. But a word of caution, my friend. When you see that a woman does not care about your well-being, your goals, your dreams, or anything that is important to you, it is a red flag no matter what. It means that maybe she has some narcissistic tendencies, selfish, or lacks empathy, which is a nasty cocktail in a relationship. I want to take this moment to invite you to think about red flags that you have encountered in your dating life. Write them all down and think about which ones you ignore. This is going to be part of your homework and how that affected the outcome of your relationships. This will help you identify what type of woman you typically attract as well. Think about what kinds of red flags you might have continuously ignored. And remember, awareness basically helps you keep bad habits in check, guys. All right, now let's get to the good stuff with type 4. This is the emotionally mature woman. The high value woman, the one we've been talking about. She can for sure be beautiful, successful, charming, and all those things that we want. But she also is in touch with her emotions and knows herself. And the thing with this woman is that she typically won't make it easy for you to get her because she knows her worth. It's not like the self-perceived 10 though, guys. She's more of like a pacing person. She's more of a healthy tester. And this is a woman who genuinely is the full package and isn't looking for someone to validate her. She's not going to play games with you, but she is going to have her own life, her own things going on. She's not going to 100% be available to you all the time. She's going to be wanting to be pursued because she actually is genuinely busy, but she's going to compliment you pursuing as well. She's naturally organically hard to get because she is a high value woman. Okay. She knows that she brings to the table, and she dates because she dates seriously, and she isn't spending all her time trying to desperately to get a man. Okay. In fact, you're going to have to work a little harder to prove to her that you're worth her time and investment. And when I shouldn't say prove, actually, let me take that back. Not to prove, but to show her. And that's through your natural composure that we've been talking about all throughout this AOA program. When you do this, you have this making for an amazing relationship that you find out it's mutual supportive, it's mature, it's transparent, it's exciting, and it flourishes. Like as you water the plant, it continues to flourish and it's full of potential. So when you encounter a type of woman that is this emotionally mature woman, and this type of, we'll call it 4 woman, I want you to know that if you willing to put in the work, you'll hit the jackpot with this woman. It's just sometimes this woman can seem discouraging to men because they're too hard to get and difficult. And when I say too hard to get, she's not playing hot and cold games. She's just like, hey, I'm so busy this week I can't at all, but next week I can, right? But they have to be right. Otherwise, all men would be all over them, and that's not fun either, especially when she knows she's looking for something meaningful. She wants to delegate her time to more of an emotionally mature man and a more meaningful man. She's going to be attracted to a man that is living his best life, who is in touch with his own emotions, who has boundaries, who is capable of showing up in a relationship, and is mature and honest and supportive. And I don't mean supporting as in someone that just does everything for her. I mean supportive as someone who supports her dreams, aspirations, work, and her as a person, and she complements it vice versa, because she wants to show up for you the same way. So she's going to respond well to you if you are good at taking the initiative to plan dates, if you're good at pacing yourself, if you're good at being self-aware and being a good communicator. This type of woman is also going to be pretty direct in how she communicates with you, because she's not going to operate like someone who has stakes in the games. In other words, she's not going to worry about what you think because she's not needy and she doesn't need the validation. She's just going to be concerned to be able to complement each other. She's more interested in being herself and being honest with you to see if you're a match or not. So she can be unfiltered and seemingly cold sometimes in her unfilteredness, but it's literally just because she's unapologetically honest about herself, which in turn should be you too. She knows what she wants and what she doesn't want, and isn't going to try to make you that man if you aren't. But if you are that man, then you're in for an amazing relationship. You just need to show up as your best self and display all of the qualities you've already embodied throughout all these videos I've already made. This is how you're going to attract a high quality woman and keep her interested, because she's not going to chase you very much, and she's not going to tolerate behavior that she finds unattractive. She's going to want to go at the pace with you. But on the other hand, if you can just become a master of confidence, transparency, emotional connection, flirtation, and banter, all while actively becoming the best version of yourself and pursuing your goals, well then, men, you're going to grab her attention. So I'm going to help you do that for this week's homework. This week's homework, we're going to identify the types of women that you've dated so we can identify your patterns. So in your homework section, you will see that in a video from me as well explaining this. Much love to you, and I'll see you soon in the next week.